Okay, so welcome to JDC West 2021 Marketing Case Competition, sponsored by Red Bull. Thank you to our judges, Julie Kiernan, Senior Manager of Sales and Marketing at 24/7 In Touch, Karen Ilchena, owner of Karen Ilchena Communications, Whitney Guato, Commercial Account Manager at National Bank of Canada, Joel Weeb, Head of Marketing at Bison Transport, and Lisa Kittleson, Head of Marketing at Red Bull Canada. Competitors will have a maximum of 20 minutes to present. Immediately following the presentation, judges will have a total of 5 minutes to ask questions. I am our academic moderator who will be timekeeper and controlling the overall flow of the presentation. Time intervals will be noted in the Zoom chat by myself beginning at the 10-minute mark. Following the presentation, I will facilitate question and answer period. Judges will indicate their intent to ask a question using the hand raised function, which I will call on them to indicate the next question. No questions or comments will be permitted from the audience at any time. The audience is also prohibited from communicating to the presenters in any form, including Zoom or via other mediums during the presentation or questions. If you are an observer, please ensure your camera is off and microphone is muted. Once the questions period has completed, the Zoom meeting will end. Competitors, you are free to begin.
All right. Mountain Equipment Co-op Board of Directors. We are JK Consulting, and we are here to guide you through and provide a solution for these turbulent times with our strategy, Can't Move a Mountain. So before I get into explaining what Can't Move a Mountain is, I want to just take you through what we see as the main issues here that we're trying to solve. The primary issue here is how to restore the MEC customer trust and loyalty. This is really at the core. The MEC customers and shareholders have felt a bit betrayed, and we want to ensure that we are restoring that trust and continuing to maintain that brand image. The secondary issue here is how to rebrand MEC to increase profitability. Unfortunately, we must recognize that MEC before this, the Kingswood equity firm buy, was not profitable. And again, this is very important to ensure long-term survival of the company. And finally, the secondary issue, second point in the secondary issue is how to thrive in a pandemic landscape. Recognizing that 2020 was an incredibly different year, we must ensure that our strategies cater towards adapting to that and thriving in this landscape. A recommendation is Can't Move a Mountain. The mountain, being Mountain Equipment Co-op, is a brand that really wants to stick to its core values. And while this the ownership may have changed, we want to ensure that we are not going anywhere, our brand is not changing, and we are going to continue to be the brand that people love and trust. The impact of this is the revitalized MEC community and profits for the future. So, the core values. Taking a look at the information provided, we believe that MEC, the core values here is not just about ownership. What people got with this co-op was not they don't necessarily value this ownership of the brand. It's more the core values that came with this ownership. So what are these core values? This is community. This is being able to go to MEC and participate in events put on by MEC, feeling that you have an outdoor community that supports you and you want to work with and be a part of. Second is knowledge. Whenever people come into the MEC store, they always talk about how the staff is so knowledgeable and friendly and approachable and actually have done what the customers do. They are outdoor enthusiasts themselves. Third is quality. Anything that MEC sells is quality and is always trusted. And this is included with the rock solid guarantee, among many other things. And fourth and finally is the environment and responsibility. MEC has clearly taken great steps to ensure that they're being environmentally responsible and responsible in many other ways. This is seen through their storefronts, which is really focused on the green quality and their participation in many charities and foundations such as 1% for the Planet. So really we believe that while this co-op part has been lost with this new takeover, we believe that the core values, as long as they're kept, is really what is important to maintain here. So looking at the information provided, we saw that MEC is competing on not just the outdoor recreation industry, but the leisure arena. So these, I've identified 4 areas below in which this leisure arena looks like. So the first would be social gatherings. These are going to bars, clubs, going to a festival, seeing a music concert. Second would be streaming services. So watching YouTube, watching Netflix, pulling out that phone and looking at that. Social media, again, really has been a bigger and increasingly more important part of our lives and something that we spend a lot more of our leisure time on. And fourth and finally is outdoor activities and exercise. So what does that look like in today's day and age with this 2020 year? Well, social gatherings are not possible due to the COVID pandemic. And social media and streaming services, we frankly have been burnt out. We started heavily using these more and more as the pandemic began, but as the pandemic continued to stretch on, we realized that we're quite burnt out and we don't just want to do that. So this has created a reignited interest for outdoor activities and exercise. It has been shown, Yahoo Finance had an article that outdoor equipment has been increasingly bought, and there's a reignited interest to get outdoors, see the natural area, and just exercise in general. So we believe that this is something that MEC really has going for it at the moment, and it's something that can be capitalized on for the future. Now, where is MEC as a brand? MEC is a retail store, but it is also very important to consider that MEC has a clothing line along with many other equipment and brands. So looking at the landscape here, we can see that I've divided this into a chart here. So that goes from low price on the left side, high price to the right side, and then high quality on the top and low quality on the bottom. Quality, this means that the product and the material is good and it's doing what is intended. So looking at this, we see that the outdoor industry brand, outdoor apparel, outdoor equipment, it tends to be quite pricey. And again, you are getting that value for it. These brands such as Arc'teryx with extremely high prices, but also high quality and functionality. However, MEC stands out for offering extremely high quality products at a low and affordable and accessible price. And this is something that we believe going forward, you as the board of directors should really focus on. This is something that is going to allow profitability for the Kingswood, is something that they're really focused on, and also really match those values of the core values that the MEC customers are looking for, are quality and being really for the people and providing them the ability to get outdoors and explore and just explore that passion. However, that being said, with moving forward, we don't want to be like Tim Hortons. Recently, Tim Hortons was acquired by another big firm, and because of this, they really focused on cost savings, which resulted in diminished product quality. And if you ask anyone, over the past 5 years, the brand image of Tim Hortons has really decreased. We want to make sure, especially as MEC had those grassroots starts, we want to ensure that that does not occur, because that would be disastrous for the company. So again, really ensuring that we stick to those values of quality and being for our customers. So that leads us into our strategy, Can't Move a Mountain. From the west coast of the Rockies to the east coast in Newfoundland and Labrador, we want to ensure that MEC is seen as a mountain, immovable and sticking to its core values, even through these turbulent changes. And going forward, we want to see that being reflected. And we have a strategy that we believe is going to really help bring you forward into the future.
So Can't Move a Mountain we see comprised of 3 major pieces. The first being PR damage control, which we have identified as having to be dealt with immediately. The next portion of that is MEC to market and MEC moving forward. Getting more into those, I will be able to explain exactly what those mean. So the wonderful thing about your company is your products have such an expansive line and price range that you're able to cater to everybody, people as diverse as their landscapes, no matter where they're living. So because of this and this wide target range that we're able to deal with, we really want to hone in on experiential marketing to capture the widest breadth of the audience. So as I had mentioned, the first thing we really want to get control over is that PR damage control. So with Can't Move a Mountain, we really want to get that message across that even though some of the leadership is changed, MEC is still here down to its core, and they are still wanting to put forth great quality products and just be that brand that they have always been for everybody. So this will be done immediately, as I'd said, with an apology letter, an apology video, and then again, giving that opportunity to ask questions. This will be able to be implemented on the next page. Perfect. So the message again that we want to display is Can't Move a Mountain. The apology letter in particular will be written by the board of directors of MEC and Kingswood. It will be something that keeps the verbiage transparent and apologetic. The people do love MEC as a company itself, but they're upset that they weren't taken into consideration for this big change that has occurred after so many years of being loyal people. So I think the best way to go about this is to give the people a chance to understand of why exactly this decision was made and why, even though it's being put forth, it won't change everything fundamentally. So this letter will be posted on the website itself, as well emailed out to the members already in the system so as to save on that portion itself. The apology video, we see that being a short video of the board members. If it's not possible to get together due to COVID, this can easily be edited to include a sentimental message to the MEC community itself. We'd like to see this posted on the website. And then of course, another addition that the people were upset about is not having a chance to have a say. So this is where we really want to give them that chance with the FAQ page. We're going to have a question box on site where individuals can type in answers. We believe this is going to be a manageable demand, as 75,000 people had signed the petition to stop this movement into Kingwood. So keeping with that smaller demand numbers, we'll be able to get back to these individuals within a couple of days and giving them transparent answers to the questions that they want answered. As well, we'll be able to amalgamate all of the popular questions and put them onto an FAQ page for easy reference. MEC to market, the second piece of our plan that we propose to you is really honing in on that people as diverse as their landscape. We really want to focus on that MEC brand itself and strengthening that return policy so people have that trust in us that our products are longevity and they're there for them. Of course, during the pandemic itself, we also want to continue offering that in-store pickup and guidance over the phone for best product knowledge. And of course, moving into staying at home, everybody's been stuck indoors. So we really want to take this time to put the emphasis on how important it is to get outside, use that leisure arena to try something different. And then moving on from there, we will have a wellness campaign. To get more in depth to the stay-at-home campaign video, what we ideally see this looking like is reaching out to individuals on our current social media platforms being Facebook, Instagram, and just letting them know like, hey, MEC community, we need your help. We're all stuck at home, so show us how you MEC. What we want from this is to receive a video and picture submission from all over Canada of different people doing their different activities during this time, wearing their MEC clothing. From there, all of the submissions will be taken a look at and chosen and then edited into a MEC commercial that will be displayed on all platforms. What will the results of this be? It's a great way to have that community engagement and that experiential marketing and interest to bring it back to MEC and really create that sense of unity that was always there, and frankly, we want to keep going. As for the wellness campaign, we know how important it is that activity and mental health wellness go together. So we want to offer and promote more goods that can be used for people who live in the city and for inner household activities itself. Something that we also really want to get pushed forth to really have that that's experience amplified is we want to start the implementation to have free live streamed wellness yoga events. So anyone can attend these. They're going to be an hour-long session, and afterwards they'll be posted onto YouTube. Of course, we want to monitor the reception of this, and if it's something that the people are really loving, and if we're having a great response to it, we'd like to increase the frequency and even ask the people what would they like to see MEC doing to increase these activity opportunities. Moving forward, something that we feel is vital to the core values of MEC is continuing with the community. Something that we've identified that would be a really great opportunity to really spread the word about MEC itself is to sponsor the Learn to Camp initiative put on by Parks Canada. So if you're not familiar, this is a Learn to Camp workshop for those individuals who are new to Canada, immigrants, that sort of thing, who are also new to camping. They put on these different seminars to get them familiar with the activities, to be able to see what exactly Canada has to offer. So we think it would be a great idea for MEC to sponsor this event and be able to provide all of the equipment, of course, branded for these individuals to use. Of course, we'd like to pivot this to the summer. Hopefully by then the pandemic will be cleared up. If not, this is an easy enough thing to pivot online and then post the different live stream events on the internet there.
So identifying a quick timeline of where we see this plan going into action. So as Nikki touched on, that immediate PR right at the beginning, trying to engage the public feedback is really important. And additionally, we really want to revisit this towards the end of the year, because we really see this as how to demonstrate the progress we've made over the year to see how it's going. Another important area is really focusing on the e-commerce side. So with more people being at home, there's been a huge increase in e-commerce traffic across all disciplines and all areas. So really see this as a really important focus to kind of to emphasize. There's some quick goals and indicators of what success might look like. So we really want to see lots of interest towards that positive engagement. So people are clearly upset about what has happened. So we want to hear those voices. So the more people engaging on the website, the better. So that's something that we see as an important aspect. And we really see as hiring a few people to help mitigate that. So maybe hiring 1 or 2 people to really focus on that role, or shifting internal resources to being focused on that there, especially in the beginning few months of the plan. And then MEC to market, we really see this. Our goal is to see 1,000 video submissions. Now, anything above that would be great. And the more people engaging in with that, it would be really, really positive. They could upload it to Twitter, to Instagram, to share it directly with the website or with MEC itself. And then with the videos, the wellness campaign, this we really see as potential to be quite beneficial to the brand and get that branding image up of MEC. And then overall, moving forward, we really see this as a great way to partner and identify new markets and increase new customer sales. So this would be areas, even if they're not participating in these specific activities by Parks Canada, it's an opportunity to really cater to that market. Some quick financial implications. Looking at really, MEC is in a great position because it's going direct to consumer. It's not selling its products at other retailers. It's able to have better margin, and they also have better control of what information is coming. So we can track that. It's much easier, not having to rely on other third parties to get that information. It's really internally, we're able to really focus on that. And then looking at product mix. So selling similar products together. So if you go on a website, let's say you're buying a sweater, you could see similar items there. So, maybe the shirt to go with it, or if you're buying pots and pans for when you're camping, you have some of those other equipments that are, really kind of bundling together. So maybe you'll see a decrease, making sure that whenever they're purchasing item, you really see a more meaningful purchase. And then obviously there's an issue of inventory obsolescence. So this is really having too much inventory in stores. So that's really when you shift to that e-commerce, you really have the warehouse, and you're able to offer to a much more wider base to all Canadians. So if it's, in Toronto, it's not selling, but it's more of a product that's better suited to somewhere more in the mountainous areas, then you're able to do that with the e-commerce side. So looking at some the upfront costs that we laid out, so it's about $800,000. And seeing with the current gross margin of MEC, we see about $2.5 million in sales to break even on this first year kind of implementation. So this would be the necessary increase to recover those costs. So how we see this happening, we really see this as e-commerce traffic will drive up. It will be increased over in the coming months. We see this focus on there really whenever focusing, you're able to send abandoned cart messages to people when they're, if you don't add to cart. Really focusing on that would be a great way. And then also focusing on the MEC brand. So you're a higher margin going direct to consumer. That's a good area to really focus on. And then that new consumer market. So really see this as an opportunity to get those new types of consumers that you're not already dealing with. So obviously any risk, there's tons going on with the current landscape of just our everyday life. So the one I really want to focus on is, consumers choosing to spend leisure hours otherwhere. So we identified that those other areas that are still going to happen. Still, people are still going to be at home. That's what we really want to see is offer a wide variety of products and services to really cater to all types of consumers.
Awesome. So with this, we believe we will regain the MEC trust and loyalty while increasing the sales. And this is going to be done by targeting Canada, people as diverse as their landscape, really focus on getting outdoors, not necessarily that hardcore outdoor, but really just getting outdoors and encouraging people to be active. The solution with this is the Can't Move a Mountain, remaining a strong MEC, sticking to its roots while continuing into the future and adapting to the current climate. Thank you, and do you have any questions?
Thank you. Judge Wheat, please.
You had some good ideas on growing engagement through your videos and other ideas, and you did make reference to the e-commerce sales increasing by 40% and made reference to cart abandonment, which I don't think is enough. So how do you take all that engagement and convert it into those sales?
For sure. So I can touch on that. So part of where we see this as, so you're driving traffic to the sales. So people are going to be there. You're really going to be identifying what specific activities that the people are going to be looking to do. So whether it's that seasonality, so looking into the springtime, maybe they're buying a bike and all the product there. So really focusing on that, and then also looking at different conversion metrics. So whether they're signing up for the email, when they first sign up, offer them a discount, 10-15% on their next transaction. Those types of things to really kind of increase those sales.
Judge Boato.
Well, I had the same question as Joel, but I'll touch on your margins. You mentioned that you want to have higher margins for the direct-to-consumer MEC brand products. How are you going to do that? Because they have been decreasing in past year margins.
It wasn't so much that we wanted to decrease those margins itself. It was that by really focusing on selling the MEC brand, even though in store we do have the option, or there is the option of other brands, really focusing on that and driving that organic traffic through the different marketing initiatives that we've put forth. And then from there, that's a way to overall generate the profitability of the company, because we're not losing those margins by the majority of our sales coming from different brands.
Judge Luciana.
Hi, thank you. It's one thing to ask for a letter or putting a letter out to ask for input back from your members, but are you prepared for any of the negativity that's going to come from it, and will change actually happen as a result of some of the comments that come back from your letter?
Great point. We absolutely believe that, again, referencing back to the core values, we believe that with Kingswood, they need to really focus on these core values to remain successful. And there will be, of course, negative concerns. However, we want to try and take those negative comments and best solve them and move forward in the future. Unfortunately, this deal has happened and it can't be changed. So we want to best cater to the audience, our consumers, and move forward with that and really stick to those core values.
Judge Kittelson.
Can you speak more to who specifically you're targeting with your campaign? Are you speaking to existing MEC customers? Are you looking for new MEC customers? I just didn't see any profiling outlined in your strategy.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, MEC has continued to broaden its horizons, and as mentioned in the past, they have focused on a very traditional Caucasian market, we are looking to just focus on people that are looking to get outdoors. So this can be anywhere, age ranges of 18 to 64, as this is the largest market in Canada, and really just project the image that MEC is for people who want to be active.
Judge Kiernan.
Since the acquisition, MEC has moved from being a cooperative to a privately held company. Do you see any risk in keeping co-op in the name?
So I can touch on that. So part of the things we really see focusing on is focusing on saying MEC. So not necessarily the direct messaging of saying co-op in messaging. So on the logo on your sweater, it'll say MEC, and that's really something that's seen in the past, couple of years. Where traditionally when we first started, it said that full mountain equipment co-op. So just like that, the subtle messaging we really see as important. If there really potentially there might be a need to change that moving forward, but we don't see that as an immediate concern or really something that really should be focused on because it's still the brand itself and what it kind of is true to from its origins. So we don't see that as something that would need to be changed.
Judge Kieran, Ilchana, sorry.
I just have a quick question. So your plan is very COVID related right now. What happens post-COVID? What happens, we see ourselves in, I don't know, 6 months. Where do you see this plan at that point?
Perfect. I would love to touch on this. So we're taking a very proactive approach to this because like we all thought, COVID was only going to last 2 months, but here we are almost a year later. So we're planning for the worst, but we are definitely prepared for the best. So in that case scenario, these experiential events, we'd love to take them outdoors and hold these camping seminars in person. And again, get back to the roots.
To interrupt, time is up. This officially concludes the presentation. Thank you all so much for joining, and you may leave the meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you all for your time.
Thank you so much.